quick clarification. You're not suggesting that Senator Cotton's a liar.
I am suggesting that what he said about the Iran deal did not turn out to be true. And so was he wildly misinformed, or was he not telling the truth? Maybe he'll answer the committee.
You think it's the latter?
No, I don't know. I don't know. But the fact is, he time and time again presented a wide range of information about the Iran deal that wasn't true. And that's not just a conjecture. That's something that we know as a fact. I'm just looking for the actual quotes here because I want to make sure we get this right. He said, this is Senator Tom Cotton on Meet the Press. So there's television footage of all this. He said that this deal gives them $150 billion of sanctions relief. Not true. He was wrong about that. He said it puts them on the path to be a nuclear weapon state in 8 to 10 years. Not true. In fact, we will be able to verify over the course of the next 10 years and beyond that they are not advancing toward a nuclear weapon. And because this deal went through, they are farther away from having access to a nuclear weapon than they've been in about 8 to 10 years.
You know, years ago when I was sitting in Tampa Bay and a young Tom Cotton, not yet in Congress, sat down and had lunch with my son and I, nobody talked to him. And now he's being condemned as a liar by the White House press secretary as a senator from Arkansas. Quite a distance you've covered in 4 years, Senator Cotton.
Hey, Hugh, welcome back from your cruise.
It's good to be back. Did anything happen when I was gone? How did you become public enemy number one at the White House?
Just a few things happened. I guess I became public enemy number one at the White House, Hugh, because I'm telling the truth about the Iran deal. Look, what you just played and some of the coverage of Ben Rhodes is what happens when you put van drivers and campaign flags and failed novelists in charge of foreign policy and national security. And that chump may think that subsidizing Iran's nuclear program with millions of dollars is a laughing matter. I don't think it's that funny. And if he or anyone else over there had ever been man enough to put on the uniform and pick up a rifle and have to lead men in dodging Iranian-made bombs, they might not be laughing either.
That's where I come down to. Put aside Josh Earnest and Ben Rhodes, who is going to be eclipsed by history in about 1 minute after he loses his 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue pass. No one's going to talk to him. But go to the reality of what they did. The reality of what they did is arm Iran and give terrorists $150 billion. I don't even know how anyone argues with the $150 billion in sanctions relief. That's what the Iranians wanted.
Well, and Hugh, also, just let me speak specifically to the point about the amount of relief that Iran will get from this deal. Now, President Obama has put the estimate at times well north of $100 billion. But you've got Flax in the White House and John Kerry and other senior administration officials running around saying, oh, it's only $3 billion, it's only $5 billion. This administration has a pattern of telling the truth in classified settings and then misleading or misinforming the American people in public settings. I sit on the Intelligence Committee and the Armed Services Committee. I've had repeated briefings about the Iran nuclear deal, some just a few weeks old. They come from nonpartisan, professional intelligence analysts. And I can't tell you the number that they have briefed us recently, but I can tell you it's a hell of a lot closer to $150 billion than it is to $3 billion. And sitting in that briefing was a political appointee named Andrew Exum at the Department of Defense. And any reporter who wants to know should go listen to him, because I gave him a piece of my mind, not because it's his fault, but he is the political appointee who is there as the representative of administration policy. And it's time the administration came clean and told the American people exactly what they tell Congress in a classified setting. And the fact of the matter is, the amount of sanctions relief is a lot closer to $150 billion than it is to $3 billion.
So the administration has a pattern of telling Congress in classified settings something very different from what Josh Earnest says?
Yes, and not just on the nuclear deal, on a whole range of national security matters, because they want to conceal just how calamitous their security policy around the world has been for American interests.
Now, Senator Cotton, do you think Josh Earnest has a clue about what I mean, honestly, this isn't a personal thing, but do you think Josh Earnest and Ben Rhodes have a clue about who the Iranians are, about the revolutionary government there, about Khomeini and what is really going on?
No, I don't, Hugh. You know, most of who's left in the administration now are all these yes men and fanboys who were van drivers or press flags for Barack Obama in Iowa and New Hampshire in 2008. This reminds me of the time back during the big fight over Obamacare and the government spending bill in the fall of 2013. And one of the guys over there accused the House Republicans of being suicide bombers, if you recall that. As if any of them had ever seen anything more dangerous than a shoving match when they're playing beer pong on the back of a bar in Georgetown.
And so, given all that, I know you'll continue to press on and make this, but is the issue closed? What can we do about Iran? We got 45 seconds. What are we going to do?
Unfortunately, the issue is not closed because Iran is still continuing its reign of terror throughout the Middle East and continuing its industrial-sized nuclear program. They're continuing to launch ballistic missiles and fund terrorist groups and threaten U.S. interests throughout the region. The American people have decided on this. We saw yet again last week on a vote on my amendment to ban further subsidies to Iran's nuclear program. We got 57 senators. You don't get 57 senators unless there's a broad bipartisan agreement around the country among the American people. Now, the president may not change course for the next 8 months, but I suspect the next president will.
Senator Tom Cotton, always great to talk to you. Thank you for joining me, Senator. We don't care what they say about you in the White House press room because we don't think those people are going to matter for much longer than 6 months, and they're wrong. Tom Cotton, always a pleasure. Don't go anywhere, America.